Okay, I'm tired of shit. I just got through working out, doing a run, so I'm gonna go through this really quick. I wanted to get this out the way. There's so much shit going on. There's the damn Zoe and Ying getting unbanned. I'm seeing something with QE Cinderella. I also saw some other shit. Myron's crashing out over Alba. There's so much shit I got covered. But we're gonna start with this. I wanted to get this out the way. Um, this is going to be a conclusion video. Um, and I just want to. This is my response to it. Everybody is still saying that Mizkif made it worse. I think his response clarified a lot of things to me. And I want to start off by saying this: um, being mistreated in the forms of essay, being I call it mistreatment, but being mistreated is wrong. Um, anyone who does that should suffer consequences, and anyone who is a victim of that, I'm on your side every time, every time. Okay. Um, but I think there needs to be a difference between being mistreated and claiming you was mistreated. Those are two different things. And they require two different actions. Okay. Um, I've always thought it's weird that anytime, at least in this atmosphere, the go-to thing that people do whenever they get mistreated when it comes to the streaming stuff is that they make a response video about them being mistreated. They don't file paperwork. Now, let me get this. I don't know if she's filed paperwork or not. Okay. But I'm relaying this to the Saeed situation as well. From my understanding, none of these two have filed paperwork at all. Okay. So, but they decided to go online and expose how they were mistreated. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying anything of that nature. I'm just saying that I think that needs to stop. If you was mistreated in any type of way, if you was mistreated, you should not be. You should not be. You should not be going. Your first response shouldn't be going online to talk about it. That shouldn't be your first response. You should file paperwork. You should let the police know, and then talk about it. Because at the end of the day, at least gives proof, right? It validates what you're saying. Okay. If I was to ever, and it's weird to me because if I was ever to get robbed, let's say I got robbed, right? Or if I was in the same situation as them, but let me just say something more relatable. If somebody robbed my house right now, the first thing I'm gonna do is tell the police. Later that week, I'm gonna tell the police. I'm not gonna go online and say I got robbed, and I know the person. I'm calling the police, or I'm doing something to that person myself. Well, really, I'm calling the police. Let me just say that. Let me not go overboard. But I'm calling the police. If I know the person, I'm calling the police. I'm not gonna go online and be like, I know you stole stuff from my house and blah blah blah. I'm calling the police, bro. That's what I'm gonna do. Cause you get something wrong, I'm gonna call the police to handle it. That's how serious it is to me. Um, anytime I've had friends who've been mistreated, um, first thing I do is listen to what they say, hear them out, and try to comfort them as best as I can. Right after that, I say, okay, let's go to the station. Let's report these niggas. Two things happen. One, they either go like, okay, let's go. Can you come with me? I'll feel more comfortable if you come with me, and blah, blah, blah. Cool. I'm like, yeah, yeah, it's good. Or their eyes get big and they're like, well, I, I'm too scared, or maybe it wasn't that. Like, we already talked it out. We've already worked it out. You already worked it out. This man just mistreated you. What do you mean y'all already worked it out? Or you're too scared? I don't ever get that. I don't ever understand that. If somebody did something wrong to you, you should always report it. Okay? The reason why I made that statement here is because, to me, my conclusion of this is that this is a toxic relationship. That's all it is. I think Ms. Kiv is insecure. I think he's an ego demon. I think he got his own personal problems that he needs to deal with, and he needs to grow up as a fucking man. Honestly, him being insecure and hating the people around him and being successful at the same time, which goes to show money can't unlame you. This dude was like this before he got the money. And there's a difference between being competitive and just envying people for no reason. That's just something that's in your soul. He's always had this envy. He always wanted to be Mr. Top Guy. Um, so he's never happy for others to succeed around him, and that's just you need to keep people like him away from you. He's just a fucking pessimist. But, and there's a big but in this. I honestly don't think he mistreated this girl. And I also don't think he I don't think he physically abused this girl. Um, and those are the two things I want to talk about because those are the two things that people are harping on. Like you go to all these different videos, people are slamming this guy, and they're barely talking about him being a narcissist, being an ego demon, being insecure. Like they mention that, but they go heavily on him bruising her eye with his phone, and even heavier on the mistreatment allegations. Okay, and my last video, if y'all remember, I was like, I don't know if that was mistreatment. And I was right. I feel like his response confirmed that for me even more. And I'm gonna tell you why. So let's first hear Imaru's response to the mistreatment. Okay.
Myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting.
So she doesn't mention that they went on a date to BJ's and came home and were hanging out. Okay. She just mentioned that she was going through stuff and she was crying. Pay attention to that. Okay.
Shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually
She's not mentioning she's hugging him back or anything like that. So the visual you got in your head is she's like this crying and he's hugging her from the side. That's the visual I'm planning. Okay.
very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that
She was uncomfortable with it.
I'm not in a relationship with, but I let him hold me while I was crying, and he started kissing me in my face.
Kissing you in your face. We're not thinking lips. We're thinking pecks on the cheek and on the forehead. Okay?
And I let him do it. I was still sobbing.
Let him do it. So we're thinking she's like this. He's over here kissing her and hugging her and she's crying. Yes, that looks weird, right? But girl's crying and he's kissing up on you and hugging you. That's pervy. That's weird as fuck. Okay? Just think of like you see the image that y'all developing? This is what I'm thinking too, right?
A lot. And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants, and I screamed, and when I screamed he jumped off me like a cat, and instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without checking if I was okay or anything.
So you're like this. He's kissing you on the face and hugging you. You're crying. You're not giving acknowledgement of it. You're just like you're not telling him no, but you're not like into it like he is. And then he aggressively pushes you down more as you're crying and tries to finger you. That's not that's not weird. Cause if that happened, the way she phrased that, that made that look like a mistreatment. If that is exactly what happened, that's a mistreatment. And that's why I was skeptical, Lord Jesus, skeptical about it because I'm like, he don't seem like the guy who would just do that. Okay, if you're in a relationship, you y'all know how y'all get down. Okay, y'all got busy before. Y'all know how y'all get busy. Okay, he knows how to read a room when it comes to her. Okay, he ain't just out here forcing himself on her. Okay, which I would think. Okay, let me. I don't know the guy, so let me start there. But in a relationship, you know the girl you're getting busy with. You know the signs that you gotta look for to see if she's gonna let you do anything. Sometimes you'll try and she'll tell you no, and that's another thing that I think is weird. If she didn't want to do it and get busy, and he was trying to get busy, she could just kind of push him off, and he would just be like, "Oh, okay." It's the fact that she screamed like she was about to be about to be hurt that alarms me too with the situation. So here's his response to that.
Is this goodbye? No, it's not goodbye. Not at all. Yo, yo, yo. Explain yourself. I will. Promise. I will not be friends with any of these people after this. A lot of things that were said about me. I am going to defend myself on what was said with Emmy. So, this is April of 2021. Okay? I'm going to write everything down in the room with me late at night, and I would watch Pokemon over and over.
Oh, we will go over
Russell, Simply, Corey, or anyone that was in my house or anyone that was near us. So, in September in 2022, a lot of you guys know, I was canceled by Trainwrecks and others. But as we stayed around longer, I started resenting her a lot more. Just be outside. I told her that she would get upset if we didn't sleep together or if we weren't around. I was not perfect, and I reflect on those. That's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately,
Boom.
which is
Okay.
a 7. Sorry. I knew that the relationship wasn't healthy at this point. I knew we had to end it, and soon. One day, Emmy posted a very provocative picture, one that she knew I would hate, and she posted it to make me upset. She admitted that she made me upset with it, and we got into a heated argument, and I broke up with her. We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food.
She didn't mention that. They went to go get food. She didn't mention that. She, in fact, said that she was trying to distance herself from him. But in this video, he's saying they were trying to get back together. Let's go back to that.
Shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me.
She didn't mention that they went out to get food. They were trying to rekindle it. She's saying she was trying to get away from the relationship. He's saying they were getting back together and they were trying to fix it.
And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss.
No mention of the crying. There's no crying in his response. They ate food, they went home, they were chilling in the bed, cuddling, and then they started to kiss. The visual I had when she explained this is that he's doing stuff to her and she's not doing stuff back to him. For him, they're cuddling and he's starting to kiss her. They started to kiss each other. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest here. That one sounds more realistic than what she said. If you're in a relationship, if you're in a toxic relationship, you're going to do relationship stuff. Sorry, toxic relationships are still relationships. Y'all still will cuddle with each other. Y'all will still kiss up on each other. Okay, that's what makes it toxic. Y'all know you're not good for each other, but what's really keeping it together is when y'all make love. Sorry, that's what. Hey, I was in one. I know how it goes. That one sounds more believable. Okay, they chilling. They have some food. They talk about, hey, we're gonna make this work. And they're starting to say, I love you. I love you too. Like I think you're the one. They do something that they usually do, which is go to BJ's. That's their spot, so they could remember how they always loved it. They ate food. They went home. Probably start watching TV, and they're hanging out with each other. Okay, now they're kissing. That's believable to me. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep it real.
She said that she was okay with this on her stream, And I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then.
That's more believable. Sorry, I believe that one. I believe that one over the response that she said. Because that sounds like somebody who's in a relationship. That sounds like a toxic relationship type of thing. What she just said sounds like straight up mistreatment from a stranger. That's what the fuck that sound like. That sound like they're in a relationship and she gets getting one too. Like she was going through something and she gets getting one to do shit. That's why he sprung up like that. Like what the fuck? I thought we were trying to get busy. That makes more sense. So sorry, I ain't claiming she got mistreatment. I'm not gonna go with that one. Um, Now to the phone thing. Let me go here.
I wanted a university in San Antonio,
And y'all let
I
me know
wanted
what y'all
something
think. If y'all
faster
think I'm
than,
wrong as
the
hell, please
typical
put that in the
four-year
comments.
university.
But like,
So
there's
2.5
gotta be
years
some
for my
people in
bachelor's.
here who are
It
like
scared me and I bruised very
thinking the same
easily.
shit.
He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah.
He's beyond one of the worst. I don't know how we're just.
Okay, so boom.
As we always did. And we were playing a song called Falling in Love with You with Elvis came on, and I felt that love, first time I felt love for a girl, and I thought I'd want it to never let it go. The first year of our relationship, we almost had no fights. We started to date, it wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me.
Okay, this is one.
We started to date officially in January of 2022, and up until my cancellation, everything was perfect. She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone.
Sense.
He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him, like, I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh.
So this is what I'm confused about. Did it happen more than once or did this happen one time? Okay, and what he's saying is that this never happened during fights. So can I see him? This one, I'm with Emerald on, because if she's telling you to stop, I can't tell. I really don't know, because the way I see it is that if you're in a relationship and she's like, I don't like it, and she's being joking about it, he may think this is how we play. He could read that wrong. But if she's telling you she don't like it, you need to stop, bro. Sorry. Um, yeah, I can see him doing some shit that she don't like, but he's not thinking that it's that serious. There's things I'm trying to relate this to something. I'm not sure if y'all ever been in a relationship, but you know how you like put your covers over a girl's head and you fart or you fart near her and she like smacks you. She's like, I don't like that. He may kick it the same way as that. Like if you're farting around her and she like smacks you, like stop doing that nasty shit. That's probably how he saw it. And she could have been serious. So this one is a stick, like it's an iffy situation because I I love that he clarified, hey, this wasn't under fights. This is just like we were playing around and she didn't like it. But she said he threw her phone. Like throwing your phone is wild. I don't know what the fuck to say about that. Throwing the phone is wild. But when he explains the phone situation, listen to this, because she made it seem like he threw his phone multiple times. Hear his statement.
Phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I will throw you and show you an example, chat. I'm brushing my teeth. Right here. Look at me. I would throw my phone on the bed. Like I would just lob it over because I was going to bed. So I would just throw the phone.
Yeah, I need to know if he did that multiple times
That's it.
or
Um,
he did it
and
once
when
and bruised her.
that's the whole thing. I didn't throw it at her. I want to make that very clear. I never threw it at her. I never hit her. And she even said in her situation that she bruises easily. She brushed over that I threw water bottles with her on my or my phone near her, but that wasn't during our fights. It would be throwing my phone on my bed when I brush my teeth. She did tell me she got bruises from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. That's
Yeah,
it.
see, she made
I
it
did
seem
feel
way
a lot
worse
of
than what it was.
stress.
Um, if he did it once and she got a bruise from it, he stopped. I could see him just throwing his phone on the bed, and not realizing he's hurting her, or she's not even saying nothing about it, and then she just randomly be like, "Yo, like you're like fucking me up every time you do that," and he's just like, "Oh shit, my bad, I'll stop." I can see that being a thing as well. So those are the two things I completely disagree with. Like I'm like, you're just trying to like. I just feel like they're trying to like make him look worse. I'm not saying he ain't shit. I do think he ain't shit. But if we're gonna say he ain't shit, let's be very fair. He ain't shit in this department. He has insecurity problems, and he doesn't want other people to win. Yeah, you're a piece of shit for that. But when it comes to mistreating her or like physically abusing her, I just don't think that's him. Now, do I think it could have got to that point? Because she did mention that he was punching walls and talking about I'll kill myself. Yeah, that's weirdo behavior. And at some point, he probably would have done something to you. I completely agree with that. Um, that is some bullshit. That's some weirdo shit. I've seen girls who got hurt with those same traits. Um, but do I think in the case that she explained that she was mistreated? No, I don't. I'm sorry. Do I think that he purposely threw his phone and water bottles at her uh, to hurt her or anything like that? No, I truly think that was just an accident, which she stopped when she said, "Hey, it's fucking me up." Um, last thing I want to mention is the rabbits. And this is why I think they're both wrong. And I think they're both to blame for two things. Okay. Um, and this is why I think this is just a toxic relationship. I think she was purposely trying to paint an image with him with the mistreatment allegations, and it's working for her. And I think he planned on painting a bad picture with her with the rabbit situation, and it's just getting work for him. Do I think she was mistreating those animals? Fuck yeah. That video is not somebody who takes care of the rabbits. I know people who got rabbits. If she was leaving them out like that, and this is what they were living in, like this shit is fucking disgusting to even look at. Which I don't know why people just look past that. That's fucking
View
disgusting.
of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die. And I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't.
That's
It's
fucking
fucking
disgusting.
disgusting.
This is disgusting. This is terrible. And I feel so bad because I love animals. I feel so bad for these fucking animals, man. That's torture. That's fucking torture.
This
Um,
is a
that's torture right there. And if she if she was, my thing is this: there's more than one of y'all in there. I'm not gonna go sit there and watch that. You heard that he said the maids were helping them clean up the rabbits because they just felt bad for him. Yeah, no, you're just as much to blame, Mizkif. You watch those rabbits die, and anybody in that fucking house who saw those rabbits being mistreated, you just as much to blame. Okay, just as much to blame. I can't say nothing about friends who came over there, but if there's people living in that house, Mizkif, you being one of them, and you see these rappers are not being like you telling her, but you see these rappers not being treated well, unless she preventing you from actually helping the rabbits, which you should just call animal services at that fucking point. Um, you watch six rabbits die. Okay, so you just as bad. Okay, and you trying to use that to threaten her that you'll destroy her. What like, bro? You just as bad, bro. I look at both of y'all as ain't shit fucking pet caretakers. Ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit for that. Sorry. Um, and then with the Emerus thing, I think that was her defense. I think he was like, I'm gonna throw this smear campaign. I do think he was trying to do that bullshit too. And I think he was just like, I'm gonna throw this on you about the rabbits you killed and blah 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 blah. And she was like, well, bitch, I'm gonna say you mistreated me because of that time I yelped. So I think they're both wrong. I really do. I'm more on Emeru's side. Well, no, I think they're both wrong. Because another thing is that he did mention that they got in arguments. The violent shit with the plushies and the clothes. I mean, I know a lot of niggas are in there like, come on, dog. But at the same time, I mean, if she's being a maniac and throwing shit at him, it is a little crazy. Y'all gotta play it fair. Um, but I do think she got a little bite to her. I do think if they got in arguments, they were both saying some verbal abusive stuff to each other. I don't think it was just him. I think they both said some verbal abusive stuff to each other. I think they both were screaming at each other. They both would fight. This is a toxic relationship. At the end of the day, um, and it's sad that this got to be on the internet. I don't think this needed to be on the internet. I think if she really felt worried before doing this, you should just took legal action. Which I don't know if she said she was going to do it or not. I think she said that at the beginning, but I don't know if she said she was going to do that or not. It just bothers me. If she is taking legal action, then this changes up a little bit for me because I wonder what the legal documents go look like. Because now you have to tell the truth, right? Now he gets to say his side of the story, she gets to say her side of the story, and they get to figure out the truth. Okay. Um, and a lot of the stuff, her side and his side, you can kind of see what's the actual truth. At least with me. Me looking at both sides, at the end of the day, I'm still with what I'm saying. This is a toxic relationship that got put on the internet. And I think it's bad. I think it started with him saying, "Hey, I'm gonna destroy you," and she was like, "Bitch, I got some shit too." This is sad. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm very curious to hear what y'all have to say. But that is that for this video. Peace, y'all.